Capo Daniel has painted himself with the ADF to La Republic that they were the greatest fighting force on the ground. But looking at things on the ground, you'll find out Capo Daniel.
When I don't forget about independence. At the time of fact, when I forget about independence, Ambazonia is done. All the sacrifices are gone for nothing. When I feel a joke.
And the AJ were in Guzan or in Kugbe, as we know, which is the only place that they can be proud of, which La Republique, we've never heard La Republique attacking Kugbe, despite the EFAN and the other guys that are there have been committing a lot of atrocities there. But let us keep that aside. That cannot be our bone of contention here. What La Republique wanted to get from Capo Daniel are those that Capo Daniel or sent out Capo Daniel to be the czar of anti-kidnapping, of which he was the czar of kidnapping. There is something which Professor Lumumba said, and if you look at it carefully, you will know that it is true. Professor Lumumba said, and I quote, "Any country you see with the name Democratic Republic of South Korea, the Democratic Republic of Congo, just know that there is nothing.
No democracy there."
So when these guys style themselves as a czar of anti-kidnapping, that already tells every Southern Cameroonian who didn't know exactly what they were doing that these were the kidnappers themselves, but calling themselves the czar of anti-kidnapping. I didn't know that this name was even coined by my brother Che Ayaba and given to Capo Daniel.
Oh.
All the kidnapping, over 90% of the kidnapping on the ground, particularly in Mankon, has been carried out by the ADF and EFA. So how can they explain that you kidnap all the people kidnapped from Mankon were released in Guzan? Some of them kidnapped from Mankon were intercepted along the way.
Honorable Senator Thomas, hold your thought right there. Have you noticed that since the fallout between Capo Daniel and the ADF, that kidnapping has significantly dropped in Bamenda? That the level of kidnapping has dropped because of since Capo Daniel fell out with the ADF. That means that relationship which allowed for that kidnapping ring to go on has been broken, and the people are having some relief because of it. I just wanted you to take note of that before continue, please.
The controller of the guy, the ringleader of the kidnapping, is out of the picture and couldn't keep on controlling those that he was controlling to go on with this mayhem that was perpetrated against our people to kidnapping them. So the kidnappers couldn't continue with it. For if they go ahead with the kidnapping, who will receive the booties that were coming out of this kidnapping? The receiver is no longer at the forefront of the whole thing. So if you kidnap, you are mainly wasting your time. You might be clear along the line of your kidnapping, for the same person that was sending you is not the same person that will set you up and you will pick up and kill. But the question now we have to ask is, the ADF and her leadership has known this from the word go. What did they do? They termed him, the kidnapper himself, to be the czar of anti-kidnapping. The czar of anti-kidnapping.
Honorable Thomas, but you're asking the ADF they knew this and did nothing. But he was an agent for the ADF. He wasn't taking all the process and keeping them for himself.
That is what I'm saying, and I want to connect the dots.
Because let me read something here from the chat here from Mambo. Capo Daniel and ADF are just one and the same people trying to sell our revolution to La République du Cameroon. And I like these comments coming in because we feed from them to bring them to you. And Comrade Tewa says here, Capo Daniel allies human beings is dangerous. He should pay La République Cameroon's money because he can't sell this revolution. Very, very true. He should better pay back La République's money because La République is now threatening to come after Capo Daniel if that money is not paid back and if the promises that were made are not kept. And I don't see them being able to deliver on those promises because our ARFs are no longer listening to them, to Capo Daniel. Capo Daniel has no grip on those who were doing all these terrible things. So it is better for him to pay back the money, or if he doesn't pay the money, he should get some really good security, or maybe start getting some lawyers, because I see him getting into some really deep shit very time. You're trying to say something there, Chairman Patrick. Go ahead.
So one thing that has been clear is the fact that Capo Daniel was making sure he gathers restoration forces at every location and let La République eliminate them. We had a clear example in Guzan, where Capo Daniel brought guys from Kumbo, Momo, and everywhere, and some of them from the southern zone.
Too. Yes.
And Mancon. When they gathered in a place in Guzan, La République stormed that place. The only person that succeeded to leave was Efang.
Efang was the only one that survived. Always
the only person that survived every atrocity.
Yes.
So Capo Daniel, now the guys don't listen to him. He cannot tell the guys to go anywhere. His brother, who was collecting the ransom in Bamenda, he moved to Ghana because he's scared of his life. So Capo Daniel is in big shit, and even the Amazonian fighters are going to go after him or his brother. That's why he ran away.
Tell me about it. Capo Daniel is in deep trouble. He's in deep trouble. Pay back La République Cameroon's money. This is not the first time you've collected their money. They don't give you their money for nothing. You know them. You know them. So pay back their money, or I don't know. I feel sorry for Capo, but you have reached and reached. They say when you reach too far down, you may finally carry some really nasty stuff. So I think Capo Daniel has got himself and some really nasty stuff, and well, that's what he asked for. Let him clean himself up.
Day to everyone in regards to the death of the government delegates killed in Ndian. My names are Kingsley Ebong. I just want to make this right. I am not related to the fake video that is being circulated outside there. This is my voice.
Ambazonia. This is treason. This is treason. Betrayal of the first order. When I see how man they lie because you want to save your own head, yet you recall yourself say you've been at the spokesman for Kupe Maninguba.
Family members, I have never been part of people's killing. My hands are clean. And I've never made any decision, or I've never been in any fora where they are masterminding people's death.
I don't tell una say many of our people, they work for La République, they work and accuse people then left and right. Now, Ebon Kingsley this, where the whole years, even for this struggle like spokesman for Kupe Maninguba, they work for Sarkozy government, the campaign, say me then kill La République military and black legs. Today, because they don't threaten in life, it don't come out through the same soldier them under boss. Now they treason this. The one that the real treason. Because Mokichas, it don't threaten it small. And then they want to have to blame the killing on Bamenda people them. It don't come through the whole Ambazonian under boss. Now listen.
I'm a very lovely person, regardless what we see online there. I am not one of those people who can go after civilians. I'm not, and I will never do that. To my brothers and sisters and the family members of those delegates, I truly sympathize with you people. This is not me. I will never be part of the killing of whosoever. And whosoever is using my images out there, keep doing that. My hands are clean. God alone will be the judge. Stop being abrupt, and you are sending executive orders for people's death. God bless you all, and I remain humble. And I've always kicked against the people, civilian being killed. There is nothing like blackleg or whatsoever.
So now the Ebon Kingsley this, they give a pass for blacklegs. That means the people they give information, me like Republic target our innocent civilians, burn people their compound, burn whole villages, them collective punishment because they support Ambazonian fighter them. Now it is now because of your own convenience, for save your own head, it decide to betray the struggle and the soldier them. When I feel say they betray not only for palava money, no, they want to betray for itself. So when they betray because of partisanship, because of their group. When I already see the ballot, I go show na a previous video them. Make una know say na he be the campaign. Na he be promise say he go personally make sure say me the Cameroon delegates, enablers and the so and so called, me them pay for the price for the picking them for Kulpe Maninguba, where the Cameroon military be can kill them as a result of people the way they there for Yaoundé. They point people, they house them, me then kill them. Today, because they don't threaten it betray the cause, betray the soldier them. Today, it talk say person no fit dey for diaspora, they give order. But na he be spokesman. He say you know there for any group where they talk me then go keep people them civilian. But na he be the club they talk say na Eric Tato way be the talk Janja Moto, me then cut people they hand them. Those na civilian them, no be even Cameroon military. Betrayer, these are the traitors. Ma play those of the old video them gonna see.
You know, as I said, your judgment day is far coming so fast, and I will be watching. You people will pay with your life. Every black leg, yeah, energy. We have the names, we have the list of everybody. Right to gender. We have all the lists. Everybody who was involved for the death of those young boys that the military went to their various houses and picked them out after they have laid down their arms. We know all of you. Those boys who were killed in Kupe Maning by Mwambong, they will never go unpunished as far as I live. Yes, as far as I live, you will be dealt with. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time.
So, Nobu Naran here for him up. Me, the Ebon Kingsley, he can't talk against it. This one a lie and a fake. Now, it is this justify, say they go kill, not be the Cameroon military, it talks say he go after those black legs. But today, just like Peter Way denied Jesus Christ 3 times in front of the Roman army, Ebon Kingsley, he done betray those same soldiers and those same youths them, where he be talking me they stand up for fight for their right, me they invoke self-defense for fight. So, una tell me how we una want make me we unite. If we unite, these clowns them where they want call themselves they be activists, like this Ebon Kingsley, una go feel their own contribution away. If they feel betray the soldier them. So today, La Republic demand their colonial delegate them. It to the monarch, made the same condolence for them. They deny say he don't talk to me, they never key black leg. So who is fooling who? So Ambazonia, my people, they wanna need to understand how this struggle they go and why some of we will not go to wait for these clowns them like Ebon Kingsley. So Ambazonians, be careful for cowards like Kingsley Ebon and people like him. Remember, say when Ibi talks to me, they attack black leg now because Ibi spokesman, Ibi the fight now because of a group, Ibi they under Sako. So they don't make his spokesman, he be fight now for your own interest, no be for you Ambazonia. Because once Sako fall, he don't delete all he video them, he don't hide, he become now a Cameroon apologist. Now the traitor than this. Be careful for this partisanship we don't take hold of our struggle, the interest of our people. The reason why we are fight have become a backseat to what these people have become. That is the problem we have. That is why we suffer the way we suffer. That is why we cannot even have international support, because clowns like this will spoil everything for partisanship. Now, make a play back the audio where the Ebon Kingsley, if you record them, with he conversation with 10 Kobo, and they sold it for 10 Kobo for a cam. We're gonna hear again once more.
Yeah, the thing I say, when I don't forget to make that audios, because if when I make that audio, so La Republic go east for the follow on for back. Because they will see the get confidence say the people they did. You understand? Now the tax is that for that audio. Yes, and then when I know over waste time with that those people, I beg. Because you go the retard now for the move. When I get to the move, when I no get time for the waste time with that people there, no feel worker, money for chop, no day, all that kind of thing. When I do fast now.
Yes, sir. Now talk so.
Now Roti Bobo.
Roti Bobo. Now feel my shari talk.
Hey, what's that again, Massa? My hear voice, Massa. Hi.
Hello.
Feel Massa. My boy. Massa, your cafe day up no. Your cafe day up. You day everywhere now. You now. Everywhere. Eh?
When I'm cafe today up.
No, lie na your own, Massa.
100 francs from that people. That people them. After I leave them, the day I leave them, we get with I 1 year. Give me money to negotiate for the people there. So no worry. Later or soon, I will see what you wait for the people then. Me alone say something clear.
But Masha, you know, say una no get, una need money for dame, una need for the move, for the workout them left, right, center. You know, good. You know, yeah. That's
money bet. We need money bet. You see that people there too. If as you don't say me na money for people they come, they'll get me. You understand? No, you use money.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
After we are all those people them, I don't hear kind talk. So when they say no live up, so when they say this, so when they say that, so when they say nothing.
But Kobos, I don't tell you say when I make 2 audios, when I not forget we make that 2 audios. One when I feel make even at tomorrow where they make so many people they allow me they talk, people they hear. They wanna give the government like 2 months or 3 months. They wanna make another audio again where wanna forward the dates. So that even if we not delete the official they see they are alive, we not put that other audio outside. So that it go easy, they not go to follow now too much. They will not say they are alive when they don't clear. You understand? That's what they play this kind of game. That's what they play. The official they are alive when they don't even there. They'll ease.
Which way me Capodania at the demand na say make them give us some upgraded special status. And then so it means say I be now unionist. I mean I be now one Cameroon, I preach now one Cameroon. My country people them. During a war, when you don't fight, we fight for independence. Cameroon they talk say Cameroon be one and indivisible. Along the way, after over 6 years of fighting, one side when the government for La Republic, he calmed down for a high horse. He talk say either acknowledge this problem, offer a solution. That means they don't make concession because the special status, that means the Cameroon government, they don't surrender for some way. For talk say, okay, before we talk say the problem that terrorism. Now we talk say, these people then true, then be distinct from any part of Cameroon. They don't give them this special status where you will give them some level of autonomy according to their own centralized system. This one is a major concession and change in posture. We, on the other side, who want independence, would deny for even consider, would dismiss anything with the Cameroon government Idangiam because we want not only independence and nothing else. Things have changed from the day we started fighting. Cameroon have made some concession. The international community have listened to our cry, put pressure to Cameroon and bring Cameroon to the negotiation table. It is not like before when we have never negotiated with Cameroon. The negotiation was done on our terms. Our terms was we want negotiation out of Cameroon in a neutral ground, guaranteed by a third party in the presence of the United Nations and other state party. The negotiation we have had already is on our terms. After that negotiation, you cannot pretend like nothing have happened. After that negotiation, because we, the Ambazonian party, we come out according to international experts and to what transpired. looking like the belligerent faction between both sides. That means La Republique and the former British Southern Cameroon. Now the international community, they know fit, they will normally punish the side way it come out for negotiation as the one way it be against peace. But they don't ever sanction La Republique because they consider now we Ambazonia them, like now we will be obstacle. Of course they don't say Cameroon you know want negotiate. Of course they don't say we will not want to negotiate about our independence because we want absolutely independence. Coming from that point, the international community it come now for even support La Republique because they believe say would then become now an obstacle to peace. If we would just talk say we want not only independence, will not even show any sign of concession or flexibility, we will be at the losing side. We will not then have that position for demand less or demand even more. Because right now, we don't already make what demand already be heard. It don't come say we will not even get plan B, will not even be flexibility at all. Because if they even come for discuss confidence building measures and then you obstruct, you disturb them, that means you want not only war. My country people, even the fight for self-defense, the weapon will be used against La Republique, it can be seized in our hands. We will lose control of the forces. Economic interests, it can be override the agenda of independence, and it will only get worse. Around Waka from Europe to North America, around talk with all the international community, themselves they don't open them up talking for public. There is no scenario in the immediate future for outright independence in Ambazonia. Anybody will get any scenario for fight for our freedom will say we need to fight at least for 7 years. Now a long-term thing. But with our internal dynamic, it will not be possible for us to successfully fight for that long term. It is not possible because of our internal dynamic. Can we miraculously solve this internal dynamic? I'm telling you, our people, we are heading for a total loss if we do not change trajectory. We have lost total support from the international community. If we even had a support, let's say the international sympathy that we have was support, it has gone to zero. If we continue the way we are, we will end up in a position where the international community will come and help La Republique to fight Ambazonia. Ma talk and for make our people there for ground zero, they know them. The way we will be fighting this war, our roadmap it will be say we will fight La Republique. Suite the international community, if we can't see the international crime the way Cameroon it don't commit them, they go can't talk say no, me then stop the war, me the hell we. Then they will look and say, we case it over fine because say La Republique they didn't cheat me for before. We not get no union treaty them. We never ever sign anything with La Republique and we want to come up for day. Now the roadmap that will be get them. But now as we talk so, even our leader them, they don't talk say the international community there is no hope say they will come one day they go can't stand say they want to tell La Republique say because of our history we will not be signing union treaty, me then come up for our land. The German government they don't talk say that scenario it no go ever happen. The America they don't talk say that scenario it no go ever happen. The chance will be get for even discuss these root causes them for this Canadian process. It will be taken for granted by our leaders when they be fight their own now for posturing instead for fight for Ambazonia. So all that sympathy will be get them. It don't finish. Now even for War Refugee Day, the American embassy where they always talk about our refugee, they don't even mention them again. So make una know say for the situation where they now, all these our groups them like I be telling you before. All the activists who get them right now, they not go bring me any solution again because they are so tied up in their own politics and partisanship that they have forgotten about the welfare of our people on ground zero. They are so tied up in their own dreams of emerging as dominant or whatever they are thinking about that they will never make any concession for them to keep their face. They will rather Ambazonian die, as they say, to the last man standing because first of all they are not on that last man list. So make una not expect anything as a talk from this our various group. So the position where we dey now either we go for go lost the war or we choose to preserve our independence. There is a way we can win our independence. If not today, we can win it in the future by preserving it in an autonomy where it be similar to that of Scotland and that of Northern Ireland. What you will need to define them now, what does independence means for us? Which way me Capodania at the demand na say make them give us some upgraded special status. And then so it means say I be now unionist. I be now one Cameroon, I preach now one Cameroon. Una don't forget about independence. And tell una fact, una forget about independence. Amazonia is done. All the sacrifices are gone for nothing. Una feel a joke. Fellow Ambazonians, today we get very sad news wey dey comot from the corridors of diplomacy. But as we know, our people them they don't be manipulated, become so blind, and somehow, unfortunately can describe as so foolish, where they didn't even understand what way they happen around them, where to be good news or where to be bad news. The Canadian pre-talks will be passed. The background informal conversation, it don't completely come to an end. That means say, even communication where they be the talk for back for try to see whether they fit bring the talk again, it don't finally come to an end. Following the meeting where the La Republique Jangote Ihulam for Insa Boya, they don't come for the inform the delegates and they don't inform the international community. So they don't finally pull the plug completely. That means say even if informal talk the way it go on, it also don't come to an end. The sad thing na say we don't reach a part for our history. We were people that don't be so disconnected with reality, so disconnected with their own fight for their future. Where all these things, actually mean anything for them. Nobody respect our people. Nobody accounts for our people. This is a very big historic failure that will be in our history books. That for the first time, we have the state of Cameroon, represented by their government, sit down with representatives of our territory as the former British Southern Cameroon in an internationally recognized forum, and we had zero to show for, zero to account for. We went there with international support, backed up, and networks. We come out there as losers, with some of our leaders being sanctioned, refusing entry into the Canadian state, a place that had welcomed us Ambazonians. So, may God help us. This fight for our liberation struggle have become a permanent future in the minds of other people. To some, this war is meant to last forever, as long as it takes, so long as they live in their comfort. For others, this war have become a pain that is too much to bear, and the disappointment in the direction that the struggle have gone that have isolated the vast majority of our people and have become an issue of the Amba boys. The public mobilization, the foreign protests, the writing of letter and engagement of the international community is only secondary, as the various Ambazonian groups have transformed themselves into partisan organizations that focus more on their credit from soldiers. Anything that concerns the public is none of their business. Our population remain in awe of what is happening. This is a very, very sad thing to swallow, that we have lost this opportunity. That means we will never be ready for fight for independence. But there is a reason why at this time, in particular in our history, I inform our people them about the fact that right now we are on a path to a complete loss, because the war going on now is not on a trajectory that will have victory for us. The most important reason and the primary reason why I have to put this language in this way for our people, now because of one thing, and listen for me very, very carefully. But the doctors on door person, the people that know it, they don't go ever listen. But listen for me very carefully. Right now, this war will fight them now. So again, not only one man way it benefit them. I mean, right now, na Pobia and the CPDM regime. It need the benefit no man. Not only them down gain, and not only them will continue for gain, because the status quo as we fight now, we will not still get that international sympathy again. Now a losing fight. Cameroon get zero pressure from the international community to change anything the way the fight it go. Right now, their interest for our country as we know them, now for CDC, now for Sonera, and for exploit our citizens them, for maintain their military them, with them to the chop na chop. Then they like the bottom of that their pyramid for this their own ecosystem for corruption. That means they need to take we money for tax, they need for harass we take money, them all those things they be important, and they need to feed the ego of their people. So the war right now, na pobia the gain and na only the benefit. As the war will be sustained, some Ambazonian and two they the benefit. Some they benefit for their ego because some of them they now already see themselves say them being a president, them being a leader, CIO, or whatsoever. Those leaders them they no one lost face. They no one for feel say their dream say one day that they will be president or leader for Ambazonia, it will end. So for them, if this war does continue, make them maintain those their position, they no matter. Then they find them be comfortable. And then some of their shareholder them, where they don't put big money or emotional investment in those group and carry those group ideology. For them too, dan say many WhatsApp is top, where they go lost all that hope with the hope and say that they go can be minister for inside Amazonia, may the war better me come up, me continue to go. You also get Amazonian general them, where they don't be hooked up with a drug for economic interest. They want them for CDC, they want them for all the corporation the way they operate for Amazonia, and the one the way they collect tax money for petrol. Those soldiers them, they feel fight a mini war continue. Most of them now already built upstairs them for inside Nigeria. And I will begin showing us some of those videos them. Now just saying that for national security reason, we will not really put those information out there. So you get people them for Ambazonia side and for La Republic side, for Ground Zero and Diaspora, where the 1 million war it continue because they had them call for the love of our people. They don't care about our people. They are out of touch with the people on the ground. So, the way where the war they continue, it will benefit not only the people and at the cost of our people, their life and their livelihood. The trajectory, the language, our narrative right now, it benefit not only Pobia, and there is a need for us to change that narrative. That is why I have to put it blunt. 1. Cameroon is the one benefiting, Pobia is the one benefiting when our narrative is for liberation through the use of force. That means that when we go out there, we talk say we want not only independence, nothing but independence. A language where it be coined by the hardliners who are now the extremists in our struggle. The hardliners because they don't want any concession, they say not only independence or better me or man he die. That particular language it is help na La Republic, na language where it help La Republic. Because Pobia they use those hardline and their language for sure the international community say no man no fit sympathize with we, otherwise it means that they support our agenda for independence, where they're supposed to be neutral. Pobia they use their language for isolate the struggle from the Anglophone population and the elite for talk say these people they are people where they no be tolerant. They just want independence where it no be possible. They not first get the power in the first place. Because when you want absolute solution, you must first get the power. We no first get the power for demand independence or nothing else. So every time we demand something we no be attainable, we make a fool of ourselves and we help not only Pobia in diplomacy, both externally and internally. We don't even isolate the sympathetic francophone community, the political class for La Republic, the journalists them. Every sector would not isolate them with this hardline extremist stand. Why extremists? Because they adopt a policy of war crime publicly. When they say me, they kill innocent francophones. I mean, innocent people who have nothing to do with the fighting or Cameroon military or even the Cameroon government, but just because they are francophone. That is terrorism. That is hate speech. When you have somebody who have been sanctioned by the Americans, nobody survived the sanction of Americans. That person wants to embrace and cover the whole struggle to define it in his personality. That will mean that the whole struggle will carry that punishment meant for that person. Person go talk say America be talk say Nelson Mandela too na terrorist. When I remember say they be put Nelson Mandela in name as terrorist, they no be banning making no enter for America. Because if he enter for America when that ban is in NBC there for that list. When I remember say Nelson Mandela, he no be ever talk to me then attack innocent people then. As a matter of fact, the ANC be being the first non-state party for who signed the Geneva Convention. So if they accuse you say you being a terrorist, make sure say you no be terrorist. Because Bible talk say me then crucify you for thing where you no do am. But if they crucify you for thing where you do am, that means say you say God be against you. So make una know say for we for not be condemned as the whole struggle when a thing will be the head towards this direction, we need to change our rhetoric. Remember, we are not fighting anymore for liberation. It is not attainable. Anybody who talks to you to fight for liberation, ask you how. We are resisting Cameroon. We need to go back to reality. We are resisting Cameroon. We are not fighting against, listen to me very well, we are not fighting against the Cameroon government. We are not. We are not fighting against the Cameroon state that is being led by Paul Biya. Don't be misled. If you don't know who your enemy is, you will make mistake and you will be isolated and you will be defeated. For you to be effective, you must identify who your enemies are. When I talk, say, the Cameroon government, we need to fight against the Cameroon government. Some people will go talk, say, hey, Capo Daniel talk, say, we need to fight against Cameroon government. No, do not attack somebody because he's part of Cameroon government and say that we are fighting against them. No, we need the support of the Cameroon government workers. Those who are civil servants, we need support from the journalists. We need sympathy. Remember that our war have been misdefined by the extremists. Our identity have been misdefined by the extremists. Our identity is not only our national identity, it is our cultural identity. It is our socio-political identity. Our fight for independence will become mislead and void if we see it in a vacuum. So the change in tune is meant to put an end to mispropagation, to misnarrative. But people are discouraged when the propaganda or the propagation isolate them and they see themselves distance from the fighting that is ongoing. Such bad propaganda and bad propagation do not only isolate our people, it makes them to become victims of the hardliner and even the victims of our soldiers themselves.